didn't know? Your ass should have called somebody. Cut the music. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Peyton Press would like to proudly present to you the show shown around the world. The acronym is Jan B. The featured host is Sal G. It's the official New Age Late Show. So with that being said, welcome to Just After My Bedtime, the only show that gets its quotes from a giant in patent leather boots and its attitude directly from an era. I'm your host, Sal G. And tonight, we're talking about how the WCW versus WWF Monday Night Wars had us feeling like we was hit with a folding chair. Pandemonium out here! Jay, I ain't lying. It was definitely pandemonium. I mean, you do realize wrestling wasn't just entertaining us. It was literally reprogramming our sense of reality. Well, mine and my friends at least. Because Monday Night Wrestling wasn't just TV. It was appointment viewing. It was church. But everybody wore leather boots and no pants for some reason. But anywho, this episode starts with a simple question. Where did all this mess begin? Because it ain't start with Stone Cold. And it definitely wasn't The Rock's fault. Hell, even Hulk Hogan turning into a midlife crisis villain wasn't the cause. Let me break it down for you. It all started the night of Monday, May 27th, 1996. Exactly 5 months after my 11th birthday, coincidentally, but unrelated, when seemingly out of nowhere, notorious WWF wrestlers, The Diesel and Razor Ramon, walked on the WCW's Nitro. I mean, it felt like they skipped work to pull up on their ops. Only this was different, and we was all at home confused, confirming this was Nitro. Like, wait, is my TV broken? Because understand this, we didn't have the internet like that. It was just AOL Messenger and that Encarta encyclopedia thing. No Twitter, no Reddit threads, no YouTube explain a title like why Razor Ramon is actually Scott Hall. I mean, we had nothing. Just a TV remote in my hand and confusion in my brain. I mean, Diesel, who was a former WWF champion, shows up on TNT. I mean, and Razor Ramon, who literally talked in a Scarface accent, albeit just a white man from Maryland, shout out to St. Mary's County, is suddenly there too, toothpick and all. I mean, they were the outsiders, quite literally, but they weren't Diesel and Razor. They were Kevin Nash and Scott Hall. In middle school, me was like, hold on, wait. So these men just left their jobs and showed up at another one on live television? I mean, that was the first time wrestling felt illegal, but boy, was it too sweet. Because until then, wrestling felt like it had rules. Fake rules, but still rules. Like keeping the kayfabe alive on TV and in public. But you didn't just switch companies this way. That would be like seeing Batman show up on the X-Men. Like, it would be dope, but I don't think it works like that. And we didn't know if this was a storyline or if WCW had just committed an actual crime. You see, they weren't wrestling, and they weren't cutting promos, or at least we thought they weren't. They were just standing there, bullying commentators. Like 2 menaces to society. Just there like, we know we're not supposed to be here. And you want to know the scariest part? They look cool doing it. This was wrestlers wearing jeans and leathers like they just left a happy hour. But here's the thing people forget. If Diesel and Razor ain't show up on Nitro, there would be no Monday Night Wars. Which begs the question, would Stone Cold exist? Even though, yes, he is the most popular in-ring wrestler ever and made punching your boss feel like a civil right. But literally just 6 weeks prior to Hall and Nash's takeover, Austin was still known as the Ringmaster. No bald head, no remixed Bible scriptures, and most importantly, no Stone Cold Stunner, which grew to be a rite of passage for every 13-year-old boy on the planet. Which raises an even better question. Would The Rock exist? Clearly now, the most popular out-of-the-ring wrestler ever. You know, the one Hollywood literally said, we don't care that this man used to pretend fighting underwear and blue tassels. Put him in everything. Yet, even he was still months away from making his WWF debut before this happened. Yes, kids, it didn't become the WWE until the next century, thanks to the World Wildlife Fund. Well, hell, does the Attitude Era even happen if it's not for this? Without the formation of NWO, wrestling doesn't take the next step into evolution at all. No edge, no chaos, no legion of preteens telling the world to suck it. I mean, no fun. Just plenty of wrestlers in neon spandex forever? Yikes. Now let's talk about the moment that aged us all a decade, at least. Around this time, not 2 months later, the Hulk Hogan goes heel publicly. Excuse me? This is the say your prayers and eat your vitamins guy. This man told us to respect our parents. And now he's wearing all black, lying to the crowd, and joining the bad guys like a dad who just bought a Harley and now stays out late on weekends. When Hogan dropped that leg in WCW and dropped his baby face, it wasn't just shocking. It felt wrong. Like Mr. Rogers flipped you off. We had no idea at that time. The guy we all admired for tearing a pre-ripped t-shirt off long before we found out how he really felt about us, mind you, will become the original Triple H. Do your research, kids. Hollywood, Hulk Hogan. Now, wrestling had a problem. WCW was hot, dangerous, and unpredictable. So WWF panicked. And in turn, that panic gave us what we now refer to as the Attitude Era. Stone Cold flipping birds, The Rock insulting your entire bloodline, the formation of DX, and them acting like they shouldn't even be allowed on cable. Actual cursing on live TV, and storylines that sounded like they were either written in a men's locker room or in the smoker section in the back parking lot of your local bar after 1 a.m. This was the WWF saying, yeah, we saw what y'all did, and we can be way worse. Literally, hold my beer. And we loved it. I mean, can we take a second and acknowledge how insane we were as kids? We were totally okay with our heroes going to work primarily in underwear and leather boots, no question. Just, yeah, that checks out. That man is clearly qualified to fight a 7-foot demon, but somehow, that's what made it special. There was no backstage news. If something happened, you found out when it happened. You couldn't Google it, you couldn't fact check it. In fact, Monday Night Wars is almost single-handedly responsible for the boom of message boards, the foundation, the precursor to what we know today is social media. And you just sat there like, is that Dennis Rodman? Well, I guess wrestling has changed forever. And it did. Fast forward to March 23rd, 2001. Ted Turner lost and WCW got sold to now WWE and the war ends. But the damage was already done. Wrestling had evolved. So had we. And I didn't know it yet. But watching those men break the rules on TV taught me something real. It taught me sometimes the moment that confuses you the most is the one that changes everything. And when I think about it, this wasn't just about wrestling. It was about that feeling of watching something change in real time. With no spoilers, no tweets, no warning. Just you, a remote, and your brain trying to process reality. And believe it or not, two guys showing up on the wrong channel caused Hogan to turn evil, Stone Cold to rise, and The Rock to become larger than the business itself. And that wasn't just the wrestling angle. That was the moment wrestling stopped pretending and started competing. And once that door opened, it never closed again. That's it for tonight. Man, y'all like, comment, and share. Y'all take care. Peace.